Good afternoon or good evening out there, everybody. Out there in Bulldog Nation, this is Alan. Oh, yeah, this is Alan with D9J Sports, the Jasper Bulldogs. Yeah, they've pulled the trigger, and they've got a new coach, ladies and gentlemen, a new coach and an athletic director by the name of Toby Forman. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the new hire, what to look forward to in the coming months, and definitely what to look forward to when the Jasper Bulldogs get ready to take the football field in this coming up 2026 season, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, like I just stated, the Jasper Bulldogs, they went ahead and pulled the trigger. They pulled the trigger on Toby Forman. They're going to name him as the Bulldog coach. I think they were trying to hold on, but then I think that it got out. And now the KJS has reported it's all over the news. Toby Forman. Now, Toby he went to school. He coached at West Orange Stark High School, but he's been out at Killeen, Westwood out there, Killeen Shoemaker High School, and he instantly turned their program around. I think they were like, when they first started off, they were like a winless team and then win, and he instantly turned that program around. He's also been a coach. He was offensive coordinator back in 2012 for those West Orange Stark Mustangs. And we all know about those West Orange Stark Mustangs, especially when he was back in the day when he was coaching them back in 2012 and all the time when they were, or until this day, they've been a powerhouse. Then he went over and he coached at Central High School, helped turn that program around. And now he's got an opportunity to take over a hell of a program here in Jasper, Texas, the Jasper Bulldogs. Even though we've been a cellar dweller for the last couple of years, hey, man, there's time for a change. So here at D9J Sports, we want to tell Coach Forman and his whole family congratulations, because when you're trying to get a job, and I know that the last time when I think that Coach Crumity got the job, I think that Toby came in, I want to say second, I don't want to misquote, but I think that Toby came in second. And then, but yet he bought his time, and now God has blessed him with an opportunity, and it's one heck of an opportunity to take over a program that I feel like with the right changes made and the right hire, and I think he's going to be the right hire, that he can instantly turn the program around. Now, for all of you who are out there, I told you I was going to go live Tuesday, but then the news just came out. So I'm getting out of church, and I had to come in because people asked me what were my thoughts on the new hire. So I want to let you guys and girls out there know exactly how I feel. Well, like I said earlier, change, right? It's time for a change, and we've got the man that's going to come in. I've done my own study and my own evaluation on some of the offensive prowesses some of the stuff that they done in offense they run out there at Killeen, and it looks to be the same type of offense that we ran here, like the spread type of offense. Now, how can he instantly change? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know already that it's already reports are coming out tomorrow. He's going to have somewhat of a meet and greet, and he's going to try to get to know the kids and try to get to know some of the parents. And he has to hit the ground running. Because it's only 5 months before football season really kicks off, and to be able to, I guess, get his staff together. I don't know who he's going to have on his staff. Now, there are rumors out there, and I don't report out on rumors, right? I report out on what I know is truth. Now, I will try to tell you about the rumors. They're saying that somebody's coming back or this and that, but I'm not going to get into that. That's going to be up to Coach Forman to figure out what he's going to do as far as his coaching staff. Now, what does that mean for our program? What does that mean for our kids? What does that mean for the parents around here? Not only just a football program, but the whole program altogether. Well, first off, we're gonna. I tell you what. Let's just branch off a little bit and talk about some of other sports that have been struggling. We know that the baseball team isn't doing good right now, and we have a couple of people in track that done pretty good last season. We had a state champion. I think the young lady Roscoe Hadnot's daughter won. I think it was a triple jump or something like that. But overall, they've been down. The basketball team, the softball teams are down. Now, what is Coach Forman going to have to do? Well, you can't put it all on Coach Forman now. Can't put it on Coach Forman. Now, the school district and administration, they've done their duty. They've done their just duty in getting the man that they feel like can help change the program around. Now, the rest of it, I'm going to tell you, and I might be going around in circles a little bit, but I just want to kind of explain everything to you as far as my vantage point from being a Bulldog alumni. So I tell you what, when I say it's not all about Coach Forman, man, it's you kids out there. You kids out there, man, you got to put in some work, because I can assure you that that Principal Victor Williams, the members of the school board, they know one thing for sure, that they want to make sure that our kids are competing. And I know Coach Forman is not about to go out there and just give you a position just on hype, just because you got the job or your parent may be this. He's not about to just give you the job. You're going to have to compete. So that's where it starts at number one. So for you kids out there, you don't want to put in the work, you want something given to you, will not be happening. I'm telling you right now, it will not be happening. You're going to have to get off of the couch. And I'm not saying that you kids are not all on the couch, but for the most part, you know what I'm talking about. You have to get off the couch, and you're going to have to put in some work. You got to put in the work, because if you want to get on the football field or the basketball field or the basketball court or the baseball field or the diamond or whatever it may be, you're going to have to put in the work. You got to put in the work. Now, let's get back to the football thing. Now, some of the things that we've had in the football that have not been conducive to us winning is a lackluster offensive line. I'm gonna start right there with the offensive line. Okay, so now I believe that part of the reason why the offensive line, part of his talent, we're used to having you guys, big guys, and we don't have that many of them now. We played a lot of little, smaller, younger kids, and so now they had to learn, right? So in saying that, the offensive lineman, man, you're going to have to put in some work, and it all starts there. Doesn't matter about the quarterback, the running back, or the wide receivers. You got to have an offensive line that can protect. Now, when you get your offensive line together, they've got to have a lot of work. You can't have it where the quarterback, as soon as he gets the snap, then all of a sudden he's getting hit. We've got some running backs. I tell you what, let's stay on the line. We've got some kids on the offensive line that have the talent, but they've got to be willing to put in the work. You've got to put in the work. Nothing's going to come for you free. Nothing's going to come for you free. And I can promise you, I'm going to keep telling you right now, that you are going to be in a battle. You're going to be in a battle. So next up on that note, I will tell you, all of the kids out there who are around school who could probably play football, man, this is a perfect opportunity right here for you right now. This is a perfect opportunity for you right now to get out there. So all of the kids who play, the senior leadership, the quarterbacks, all of you kids should be looking around school, man, like, hey, man, get anybody that you know to come out and play football, man. So it's going to be up to the Bulldogs, the Bulldog students, the Bulldog players to change the fate of the Jasper Bulldogs. It's only so much that the coach can do. Let me give an example of that. We know that the greatest football coach of all times, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick went to the University of North Carolina. It didn't work out right. It did not work out right. He may turn them around, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to take more than just getting a new coach or a new coach or two. It's going to take some hard work by the kids. Now, next up, parents. Man, this is going to be one of them things right there, man, where, hey, man, your kid going to have to grind. You're not going to be able to sit back and say, hey, man, send your kid to 1 or 2 camps, and that's all they do. And then all of a sudden now you're going to expect your kid to be out there on the football field playing. I'm sure. Remember what I told you on a couple of videos ago. It's about winning. It's about winning. And to win, you've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the work. Parents, we got to understand. We got to understand that, hey, man, it's going to take hard work. It takes hard work and dedication. People are not accustomed to change. The one thing, regardless of whether it's in football, basketball, it could be on your job, people are not accustomed to change. But now that we have changed, hey, man, we've got an opportunity. Now, let's continue to keep this thing rolling. We're going to talk about the running backs, right? The running backs. We know all about little DJ. We know about the kid Cam, and there are so many more running backs that we have. But you kids are going to have to be able to put in the work. It's all about putting in the work. You hear it all the time from the greats. It's about doing your job, putting in the work. Now, one of the things that I can tell you from being a trainer, from being a former athlete, from being around the game. I'm 60 years old from being around the game since I was 8-9 years old. Man, you gotta put in the work. You gotta do the same thing over and over again. Over and over again. So now and on that note, I'm gonna tell you this, right? So I sit up, like you guys know, I'm in social media, right? And I sit up and I see all these different quarterback coaches, and they do all these things. They got all of these fancy drills, right? Most of them have nothing to do with really actually playing quarterback. It may seem like it on the surface, but I'm here to tell you, from being a signal caller on a high level, it doesn't work like that. You've got to find your core. You've got to find out what type. Okay, for instance, we've got to find out what type of offenses Jasper Bulldogs are going to run. Okay, we got to find out what they're going to run. You got to work on that. But to be totally honest with you, you have to play the quarterback position. You have to be a quarterback. You've got to be able to play the spread. You've got to be able to run the ball. You've got to be able to play pro set. You've got to be able to do it all. You got to be a quarterback, not a one-dimensional quarterback. You got to be a quarterback. How do you get to that level? You got to do the same things over and over again. You got to do the same things over and over again. When things get tough and you don't like it, you've got to continue to put in the work, man. You've got to put in the work. You've got to know what you're working on, right? So for some of you kids out there, right, I'm going to tell you, right, I watch a lot of you kids go up there to the field house. In the summertime, we may be out there working out, and I see you kids out there. What are you really working on? Do you know what you're working on? Or is it you just going up to the field house saying, hey, I went and I worked out today, but do you know exactly what you need to be working on? See, because the Dogs in Bulldog Nation now, man, we're not going to be able to sit back and have you just go up to the field house and do something that is not conducive to you getting better. It's not going to be conducive. You get it back. You got to remember, we play big time football down here in the 409. The Jasper Bulldogs playing in a hell of a district, one of the toughest districts in high school football in the state of Texas. So what do you have to do? I'm going to continue to tell you. You've got to do the same things over and over again. Over and over again, you've got to continue to do the same things. Okay, you got to do it over and over again. Next up, defensively, what are we going to do defensively? And I'm going to come back to the wide receivers. Well, I tell you what, let me stick on the offense. Wide receivers. Part of the problem that we had with our wide receiver core last year, from my vantage point from watching the games, wide receivers, you got to run your route. Coach is going to be expecting you to run your route. It's not just about getting out there running downfield. If you don't get the ball, then you just lack a lackluster effort. That's not going to get the job done. That's not conducive to playing offensive football. You've got to be able to run your route. You guys have got to get a chemistry going. The quarterback, the wide receivers, you got to get together. You got to have that chemistry where, hey, man, even if he doesn't see you open, he can throw you open because he has that chemistry. But he's not going to be able to play offense. The quarterback is not going to be able to play good offensive football, a good quarterback, if you're not doing your job. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody in Jasper, Texas, I'm telling you right now, you got to leave your egos at the door. You got to leave your egos at the door, because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, Coach Forman he's not going to be putting up with it. He's not going to be putting up with it, man. He's not going to be putting up with it. You got to leave your ego at the door. If you think that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, well, I'm going to tell you this. You're supposed to, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. You wide receivers out there, you got to get with Trevor. You got to get with whoever the quarterbacks are on every level, and you got to come together as one. We're going to need some senior leadership on our football team. Defensively, hey, you already know we done a pretty good job last year. We was getting up a lot of, not a lot of points, but we were getting wore out because the offense couldn't score a lot of points. Okay, so I'm sure the coach is going to straighten all of that out. Now, let's jump off subject a little bit. Let's talk about the other sports. How can he change the other sports? Well, we already know, and you hear reports all of the time where people say, man, it's bigger than just football. It's bigger than just football. Well, we know football really brings the money in, okay? But it is bigger than football. We got to get back. We got to get everything back. We've got to get our track team back. You remember back in the day, for those of you out who watched this video, You remember back in the day when the Jasper Bulldogs would step off of the bus and it wouldn't make no difference where you was at. They already knew the Jasper Bulldogs were about to take off on them like never before. And we didn't have a fancy track. We didn't have anything in that. We had a dirt track, but Coach Spoon made everybody put in the work. All of you football players should, all you skill position football players should be running track. I'm just giving it to you real. You should be running track. You should be running track to make sure, because I'm going to be honest. The one thing that the Jasper Bulldogs football program is going to be lacking is speed. So for those of you out there think, oh, this kid runs a 4.3. No, they don't. They do not run a 4.3. They do not run a 4.4. We might have one kid that might be 4.4. I'm just telling you from what I've seen. We don't have that. We don't have that. We have a bunch of 4.5, 4.6 kids in the skill position. That's just keeping it real. That's keeping it real. And if you think I'm just making this up, I want you to go back to the track team. Probably the fastest person on the track team ran what, a 10.8, 10.9, 11 flat. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 4.6, 4.7 40. So people can pump the brakes up, pump you up. But I'm going to tell you what the truth is. I'm going to tell you what the truth is. Now, do you have to run a 4.3 40 to be an effective football player? No, you do not. No, you do not. But you can't run a 4.5 or a 4.6 40 and you haven't worked on your craft behind the scenes other than going to camps. Let's be honest. How many repetitions are you getting at camps? Not that many. So you're going to have to put in the work. Now, since you're not running track out there, what do? I'm going to tell you right now, tomorrow needs to be the start of your grind. I'm telling you, it needs to be the start of your grind, Bulldog players, because you can make a change. You can make the ultimate change. You can change the fate of the Jasper Bulldogs program. You can resurrect us and get us from being a doormat where teams like Shepherd beating us. No. And I will get off track and constantly talk about football. But the other programs, let me get back to that. The other programs, and I started off talking about the track team, right? We got to get back to that. The baseball team. We got to get our baseball team. And I know we got some younger players out there, but we got to get our baseball team back up to par. Okay. The golf team, the tennis team, the softball team, the ladies softball team. And I tell you what, we've got the volleyball team. Every sport in Jasper Bulldog, Jasper Independent School District has an opportunity right now. They have an opportunity to turn the corner. Now, let me drift back a little bit. But that also is a reason why I can tell you it's not going to be all on the coach. It's not going to be all on the coach. I will continue to tell you it's not all on the coach, man. It's not all on the coach. You gotta get to work. You gotta get to work. It doesn't make any difference. I tell you what, you seen, I told you about Bill Belichick. You saw what Deion Sanders done when he had the players, like his son and Travis Hunter. But then you saw what they done last season. They were a dumpster fire. See, because it's all about the coach. It's about the talent that you're putting out there. The New England Patriots used to win all those games and win those Super Bowls. They didn't have all that talent. They had Brady, of course. They had some talented players, but offensively, he would make a West welcome. West was a great player when he used West. But he would use some players, you get my drift, and you would think that they were all world because they fit into the system and they work. Now, it's going to pass in a blink of an eye, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's going to pass in a blink of an eye. What is it now? March, may as well say April, May. You got about 70 days and school's going to be out. Man, August the 28th. So March, April, May, June, July. You're pretty much going to be starting in July. July beginning. You gotta get ready. You don't have any time to be wasting. You don't have any time to be wasting. For all of you kids out there who playing sports, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to continue to tell you, Coach Forman is going to make you compete. You're not going to just be getting out there on the field just because. Because remember, it's about winning. I will continue to tell you this every day on every show that I do about the Jasper Bulldogs program. It's about winning. It's about winning. Now, with the schedule that's coming up, this is what I'm looking for: the East Chambers Buccaneers. I'm looking for the Jasper Bulldogs to go to East Chambers and and blast them. And blast them to put everybody on notice that the Jasper Bulldogs are back. The Jasper Bulldogs are back. I'm telling you. But that's going to take hard work. That's going to take hard work and dedication. Now, to the independent school district and the people who done the hiring, Mr. Cybo and Mr. Coach Williams, Victor, and to all of the people who had something to do with it getting hired. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, good job. Good job. I was a little bit afraid that we was going to hire somebody that was going to come in and maybe run the wing tee or run something like that, wouldn't be conducive to some of the players we got. But I see that the Jasper Bulldogs took their time, the time that they had, and they done a good job in making sure that they got the person that they feel like is the right person, and that goes a long way. Now, next up, in saying that, I know that from just looking, Coach Forman is friends with a lot of people around here, I would say, in a sense, but I would think that as parents, man, and the people around here, man, you can't push off your agenda. You got to give the man an opportunity to do it his way. If he's going to fail, it's going to be his way. It's going to have to be his way. You can't go up there and be trying to force feed what's going on because you want your kid to play. And everybody wants their kid to play. Okay, everybody wants their kid to play. Like me, my kid isn't even playing. I wish he was playing. I wish within 2 years he could be the quarterback, but he isn't playing. I'm going to continue to work on him. I wish that the other kids out there, hey, Alex, man, we need you to play. I wish he would. So I'm here to tell you that I do have a dog in the fight, but I'm not going to push it off on anybody. All I'm going to say is you need to put in the hard work. Now, let's go back down the line a little bit about the youthism, okay, and the younger kids we need our kids developed from Pee-wee all the way up. So now, is Coach Forman going to be active with the Pee-wee program? I'm quite sure he is. Is he going to be active with the Pee-wee program? How is the 7th grade and the 8th grade athletic program going to benefit from Coach Forman? Well, I'm going to always I'm going to start everything off with the quarterbacks, right? I told you on a video a couple of days ago, we don't even know who our quarterbacks are. We should be gathering up right now. If you play quarterback, I'm going to tell you right now, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be letting everybody know if you play quarterback and you think that you're a quarterback, I'm going to give you the date and the time to be up, and we're going to get some workouts. So I can kind of give you a feel like, hey, yeah, he probably could play it. And then I could have a better idea myself of, hey, man, this person probably could play quarterback. Not that I would like push it off on the coach, but you know what I mean. You get my drift. Okay, so, and I want to know that. I want to know who the receivers are. Okay, I want to know what linemen are. I want to know if you are willing to make sure that your kid is getting the best tools that he can. Because remember, in this day and age in football, man, and sports, it is a business. It is a business. It is not what you thinking. It is a business. So you got to be able to put in the work. Now, let's continue on. I'm going to tell you some more things, right, that need to change. Whether they will, that's going to be up to you as an athlete. That's going to be up to you as a parent. So most of you out there, just about all of you know me, and you know that I train a lot of kids, right? But it doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen, from Jasper, Texas, that you see other kids that I train flourish, and I won't call any names. But you know exactly who I'm talking about. You see them flourishing at the top of their game, not just the top, they're the top in the country. But I know one thing for sure. The Newton Eagles quarterback, he joined D9J Sports Training. You know why? Because his mother and father wanted to put their pride aside and say, hey, man, we want to get him the best. We want to get him the best work that we can. You know Trevor Beatty. You know he's there. You've seen his sister get a scholarship. She was part of D9J Sports. If somebody's willing to help you and give back to the program, I'm telling you right now, you can come out, but the only way you're going to be able to come out, you're going to have to put in the same. You're going to have to hear, your parents are going to have to hear the same speech that the other parents did about, hey, it's about a commitment. It's about a commitment to being better and getting yourself better. That's what it's about. Because when school's over with, or what, 10 baseball games left, you can best assured that Trevor Beatty, and the kids who are joining, we will be out there working out. And I promise you, when the season starts, don't just sit up and say, oh man, I wish, because I'm telling you right now, you need to put your pride to the side, because in a blink of an eye, things are going to be gone. It's going to be over with. Now, let's get back to Coach Forman. Coach Forman, I'm sure, after watching and doing my own studies on him, the man loves sports. He loves sports, man. And you know he has to love the Jasper Bulldogs if he keeps on putting in application after application. And he got turned down. But as soon as the job opened, Coach Forman came and put his application in. So you already know that the dude has a commitment, man. He's going to be committed to the Jasper Bulldogs program. Now, the next thing on the agenda is Coach Forman is not going to be too big for him. He used to coach at West Orange Stark. He knows what it's about. He knows what football in the 409 is about. He knows that he's going to have a formidable team, but he also knows that the opposition is going to be coming. They're going to be coming. You already know what type of rivalry it is with West Orange Stark. You already know what's going to happen when they play. There are so many games that are going to be meaningful games for him. Do you know that when we played, center, you know, Coach Alvarez used to coach in Jasper. That's going to be a hell of a thing for him to think he didn't get the job, and Coach Forman got the job. You already know what's going to happen. I can look at Jack and remember that Jack's a competitor. I remember when we were playing, I played football in college against Jack, and he was a competitor then. So he's competitive. So you know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen with West Orange Stark. You already know when Woodville comes over. You know what's going to happen. He's not going to want one of the top quarterbacks in the country to come dismantle his team. So he's going to be ready. It's going to be some rivalry games. You already know one of the oldest rivalry games in the state of Texas is the Silsbee Tigers. You think the kids in Silsbee aren't going to be working? Do you think they're not going to be working, Bulldog fans, Bulldog players? I'm talking to the Bulldog players. Do you think just because you get on social media and you tell them that you're going to beat them, man, they're going to be putting in work. They're going to be putting in work. So Bulldogs, you put in the work, because before you know it, the Bulldog football season going to be started. Now, the other programs, I want to see us, the baseball program. Hey, man, we've got, the softball program? We got a young lady that was Mississippi State doing everything. We know Braylon and the young lady got the soft scholarship. They're doing their thing. Young kids out there, young parents, it's just a matter of time if your kids start putting in the work. So I tell you what, let's go to this. So just a few months ago, sitting in the stands, I heard everybody saying about if this was this way, if this coach done that, if they done that. Okay. Now here you go. So see, it's not going to be one of them things where you're going to be able to say, well, man, if he done it, nope. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work for Coach Forman to put you out there on the football field. I told you he loves track. Now, for the alumni of the Jasper Bulldogs, man, let's get this thing together. Let's get it together. I'm sure Coach Forman is going to be trying to welcome everybody back. He's going to be trying to welcome everybody back and trying to get the community to make sure that they're behind the football team, the baseball team, the whole athletic department. He's going to be trying to make a change in the culture, the complete culture. Now, I want to take a few minutes and talk to all of the veterans, all of the alumni football, and I don't ever want to disrespect anybody who played football for the Jasper Bulldogs. I know on one of my shows I said if you are not a legendary football player, well, was I wrong for saying that? Hell no, I was not wrong for saying that, because I'm always keep it 100 with you, whether you like it or not. And that's probably what Coach Forman is about to do. He's going to be keeping it real with you. You may not like it, but it's about keeping it a buck. It's about keeping it a buck because all the work that you put in, you guys and girls seen the video I done with all those great players from Bulldogs on there. Hey man, that's what they're keeping it a buck. Now, back to what I was saying. For the legendary football players of Bulldog Nation, man, come out. For the legendary players of Bulldog Nation, come to the games. Come to the game. I know some legendary players who haven't been to Bulldog Stadium. They have never been in the new Bulldog Stadium that I call a big house. You need to come out. You need to come out. Make sure you support the dogs in football. All you track guys who used to be great track athletes. Make sure that you're at the track meet. Make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to support our team, to support our school, man. Because one thing you can't take away, you can always go home. You can always go home. Now, next up, for all of you legendary, and I do mean legendary quarterbacks out there, I want to get with you guys and we want to have a round table and we're going to sit about and we're going to just talk about it. I've already talked to a couple of them about joining my show, and we're going to sit down and we're going to have a talk about the quarterback position. You got my number. You know how to reach me if you feel like, I don't want to disrespect, but the guys who I consider legendary quarterbacks, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a talk. And I'm also going to sit down and talk to some people that have been around the Jasper Bulldog program, right? So we've got some people that have been around the program, man, for as long as I've been living, man. Guys like Avis Armstrong, I talked to him, man, and those guys right there. See, there's a distinct difference in if you're 25 or 30 and you're talking about the program. But you guys like Avis Armstrong, who I remember when I was playing, who's Eugene Seal used to push him around on the sled, who knows everything about the program. Especially when we're talking about the football program and the basketball program. Okay, there are a lot of us out there who know what we got. We know what we got. There are guys like the principal up at school, Victor Williams, who's an incredible guy, man, who's been around. He's been around. He knows all about the program, and that's what we're looking for. We want those guys to be remembered. We want those guys. I want them to join the show, and we're going to talk about it. And hopefully, I will get to meet. I'm sure I will get to meet Coach Forman. I'm sure I will get to meet him and talk to him just about his offensive philosophy. If he's willing to talk. If he isn't, hey man, I'm still going to continue to grind out with Trevor and all the guys out there. And I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, the quarterbacks for the Jasper Bulldogs, starting with the kid who I feel like is going to be the next. He's going to turn the program around for us. He can sling the football all over the place. But there isn't going to be any excuses for him. I had a long talk with me and his dad had a long talk. Ain't going to be no more excuses now. No more excuses. He's going to be them put in the work, because I promise you, if you play quarterback for the Jasper Bulldogs, if you play wide receiver for the Jasper Bulldogs, come see me. But especially you quarterbacks out there. See, I need a wide receiver who was a great wide receiver. Man, you need to get to putting your knowledge off on the kids. But if you play quarterback for the Jasper Bulldogs, I will have you. I would like to see a quarterback for the Jasper Bulldogs come along and make everybody forget about Quince Harris, Allen Hafford, Rodriguez Mitchell, Cedric Hafford, Ben Bronson, all of us. I want us, Isaiah Coleman. I want a quarterback to come out there, put in the work, and make everybody forget about us. It's going to be a hell of a task. But I'm thinking Trevor Beatty can do it. He has the tools to do it. I want a running back to come out there and make them forget about Terrence Carrington, make them forget about Chris Hunt, make them forget about Anthony Toots, make them forget about Wayne Limber, make them forget about all of them and stamp their name as the best. Make them forget about Anthony Thomas and Terry Scott, stamp their name as the best. I want a receiver to come out there and wash Victor Williams' name away. Wash all of the great wide receivers away. Done forward, guys that you don't even know of. I want to see a defensive back come out there and make sure that he can push Tyrus Allen's name out of the fold. You get my drift. Push them out. I want to see a defensive back make us forget about Kevin Kipp. Make us forget about Raphael Adams. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get a linebacker that'll make us forget about Eugene Seal and Curtis Haffer and Welder Spoon and all of them? Can we get some linemen to make us forget about Red Brown and stamp yourself? Coach is he's gonna give you an opportunity to do that. He's gonna give you an opportunity to do. Can we get somebody in track and field? I'm gonna keep it real. Can we get somebody in track and field to make us forget about Lawrence Armstrong? Make us forget about Clifford Norman. Make us forget about Brian Brunson. And make us forget about the legend himself, Tony Allen. Where you at out there, Bulldog Nation? I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Can we get some athletes to do that? I want to know. Can we get some basketball players out there to make us forget about guys like Eric Bohanna? Can we get some guys to make us forget about basketball? Can we make them forget about football with Malcolm Brunson, Ben Brunson, legends of the game? Can we get somebody to make us forget? It's your time. It's your time, Bulldogs. It's your time out there in Bulldog Nation. Because it's going to pass by. It's your time out there to make us forget about all of them. Can Coach Toby Forman, I'm going to keep it a buck, can Coach Toby Forman make us forget about the legend, the Hall of Famer, Gene Wachowiak, who won more high school football games than anybody in Bulldog history? I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck. Can Toby Forman finish off what Coach Brooks started and get us to state and win it all? I'm just asking you, can Coach Forman do it? He has a lot of promise, but he's going to need the community, and he's going to need that. He's going to need the support of everybody. Everybody, the school, the teachers, the trainers, everybody. Bulldog Nation. This is Allen with D9J Sports. You know how passionate I am about this thing. Can we get the alumni? Can we get the members? Can we get the members of Bulldog Nation that come up? The Booster Club, Mr. Land. I just saw him at church. Can we get Mr. Land to be more excited than he is right now? Can we get Charles Land to be more excited than he is right now? Can we get Reverend Lewis, who gives everything he can? He was up there at the kids getting signed the other day. Can we make him proud to say he's a book? Can we make Ty Anthony Smith get on the plane with Coach Sark and say, man, we got some boys down there and some girls in Bulldog Nation. They got to come get you. It's going to take some work. Parents, it's going to take some work. It don't just happen. It don't just happen. It don't just happen. You got to put in the work. So Coach Toby Forman and his family, let's embrace them in. Let's embrace them in. Can the Bulldogs be resurrected? I want to know if you think that the Bulldogs can be resurrected. Can the Jasper Bulldogs get over the hump? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but I already told you. I think 9-1, 10-0, third round of the playoffs for the Jasper Bulldogs is what Alan Duck Hafford is telling you. D9J Sports. That's what I'm telling you right now. Once again, Toby Forman named the athletic director of the Jasper Bulldogs. The athletic director, he's got his hands full, but he's going to hit the ground running. He's going to hit it running. Bulldog Nation, get yourself together. And for all you cheerleaders out there, get your routine together. Get your routine together, because Coach Forman, he's going to be trying to take you somewhere you've never been. Get your routine together so when the Bulldogs step off of the bus, the cheerleaders and the fans going to set the standard for what you're about to see with Coach Toby Forman and the new look Jasper Bulldogs, and Jasper Independent School District. This is Alan with D9J Sports. See you in the morning on the drive. I'm definitely OUT.